Welcome to the Imperfect Dads podcast.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Devin.
We believe dads care deeply about their family and kids,
but they don't always have a space to discuss what their life looks like.
Our podcast is a space for dads to discuss the ups and downs of fatherhood.
And how they feel like they're holding it all together.
Or how they're not.
Thank you for joining us for this episode. On this episode, we have on Robb Laffoon. Robb co-hosts the podcast Emo Kids Anonymous and spends a lot of time on TikTok talking about early 2000s music. We talked about life with his autistic son, his daughter being a diva, being a Chargers fan, how early 2000s music changed both of our lives, his podcast Emo Kids Anonymous, and Robb also shared the story of when he flipped his car and got a DUI, and all the thoughts went through his head and all of that experience. And also just like one more thing.
Dad, just start the episode.
Oh, my bad. Hey, Robb, thanks for coming on an episode.
I'm happy to be on the show. Yeah, I'm honored to be here.
Yes. So tell me how many kids you got?
I have two kids. I have a son who's 7, Benji.
Yeah.
And I have a daughter. I'm doing like a thing like they're up heights, not not a ranking of them, because the ranking varies. And I have a daughter, Nova, who turns 4 in like a couple months. So she's 3, old 3, you know?
Yeah. I have a 9-year-old daughter, 7-year-old daughter, and a 3.5-year-old son.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got piles. Yeah. Our kids, they're tough. Yeah, they're wild, huh? They start doing things and you gotta get mad at them or something like that. Then you feel bad about it later on. It's just like, they go to sleep and you're like, you're perfect. And they wake up. I'm like, why am I doing this? You know?
Pretty much.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all just normal things that I now like. It gave me more empathy for my parents because I'm like the youngest of 3, and I'm like, what was it like for did you guys have resources? What was your world like? I'm now envisioning whenever what was your world like, parents? Because I know what my world is like, and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. And now I'm more aware of that. You guys have no idea what the hell you're doing either.
Didn't really know either. Yeah, you had no idea,
none whatsoever. So I guess that's the generational thing. Everyone is just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what you're doing? Like, no. Do we let the kids know? No, we don't tell them that.
No. Yeah. I think we're the younger people are getting more open about not knowing, maybe. But then again, maybe it's the opposite because I don't know. There's mommy bloggers and influencers. And there's probably more direction, so maybe there's more pressure.
Yeah.
I don't. But I think we're more empathetic, though, right?
I think we are more aware of the things that we felt as children that our parents looked at us and were like, you can't be this person.
Yeah. Okay. That's right.
And now we're more like, yes, you can. Why would you tell a kid they can't? Not like, I've had people come on this podcast and be like, yeah, whenever I was a kid, my dad made me go in my room until I came out smiling again. And I'm like, that's brutal. That's awful.
That's right. Yeah. I don't think that's how it works, but
it's not.
I'm kind of like, fuck, like I wish I could do that. I couldn't. I would feel too bad. I don't know. I think maybe that's I wonder that too. Did they just feel bad all the time? Cause I'm just always feeling bummed out about stuff. You know what I mean? I'm being hard on them. I'm not like, oh, I didn't let them go to the McDonald's twice today or something. But it's like, my mom was so strict. I wonder if she ever felt bad about that or if she was like a jerk or if she's just like, no, this is my job. And I'm just like a puss. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Cause the things I always want to keep like a running tally of things I tell my kids no. And it's always like, hey, can I jump off this thing? And I'm like, no, you don't need, why would you need to jump off this? And then they jump off anyway.
I was going to say, it's cool they asked, but I guess apparently it's a lie if they're just doing it.
It's more rude, right? Like if I was like, hey, Robb, do you care if I do this? And then I start doing it. You should look at me and be like, this is a dick move, man. Don't ask. Yeah. You're not, don't do that.
I have a buddy named Chris Burke. He was just the worst guy ever, but I love him, rest in peace. But I have these these ceramic pottery bowls that my mom made me, and I have them in my kitchen. I have fruit in it, and we're smoking in my kitchen like degenerates, and he leans over and he ashes in the fruit bowl.
No!
And I'm like, Chris, what's the matter with you? This is my mom made that, and and as he's asking again, he's like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm a piece of shit. And I'm just like, okay. What do I say to that? To that? It's
Nothing.
Yeah. You okay? Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
was gonna say.
All right. I mean, it's good. Normally, if you know who you are, I always take notice of people who use it as a justification for their actions. Like, well, this is just who I am. And I'm like, that doesn't make it better.
Yeah, right. Like old dog not learning new tricks. I'm like, you're not a dog.
You're not a dog. You're a
Yeah,
human being.
yeah, you'd be dead if you were a dog. You're
You would
old.
be. Yes. Is your mom still alive?
No, my mom died like 10 years ago.
Yeah. So especially then it's like, hey man, don't got a lot left from her.
Yeah.
Can't really be
Yeah,
replaced.
yeah. This was like, this was like, she was still alive at this point, but she would have been like 6. So like the Bulls still would have had like, yeah, like this,
Yeah.
like it still would have been a big deal. Like, bro, like, yeah, my fucking it's like the only nice thing I owned was like, I'm like living in an apartment where it's
Yeah.
degeneracy. Like I have,
Yep.
yeah, this is my display, brother.
Yeah. That's how before getting married, I lived in some places where like I almost wouldn't invite my parents over because it was just like 3 dudes in their early 20s all living in one house.
Yeah,
My parents
no,
would be like, yeah,
my mom would never walk in. Yeah, yeah.
nope. They're like, can we come see your place since you moved in? And I'm like, no, it's about 800 square feet. 3 people live in it, and we all share one bathroom. And you will probably call health codes on me or something like that within 5
Yeah,
minutes of walking in here. So no.
yeah, yeah. My problem was always the grass stuff. I remember one time my mom was sick, so I was in Mexico with my mom, like in
Uh-huh.
Tijuana. She's getting some treatment, and she's like, "We'll drive over and like we'll go to your place, like and pop in real quick." And I'm like, "Great!" I'm like on my phone, like texting my roommate, like, "I need you to clean entire apartment at Mexican border. We'll be back in
Yes.
San Diego. Like we'll be back home in like an hour, bro. Like please, like." Hide everything.
Yes.
They come in, it was spotless.
I had one moment in which our AC had broken, and like summers in Nashville were like freaking hot as can be. So our AC had gone out, and my roommate decided to smoke or light up in the bathroom right next to the thermostat. So I was like, I want to call the landlord, but I don't think he's going to be cool with how much.
I don't think he's gonna like this. Yeah,
I don't think he's
yeah.
going to like this. And he just looked at me and was like, well, open up a window. And I'm like, we had the solution. It was call the landlord.
Yeah,
And now I have
we
to
had a way to
not
handle
prove it.
this.
Yeah. So, dude, what's it? I've never actually been to California. What's it like? Are you in San Diego area?
I'm in LA now, but
LA,
I'm
cool.
yeah, going back to San Diego soon. But yeah, no, so I've been in LA for 12 years.
Dude, what's it? I've never been to LA. I would imagine it's similar to trying to live like in Manhattan or something like that, where I feel like every day I would feel kind of overwhelmed and like I was missing out on something.
No, LA is like a lot smaller. LA is like the
Okay.
opposite. LA doesn't feel like a city at all. LA feels
Okay.
like 100 smaller towns kind of thing. Like
Okay.
it's just so spread out. Like there's downtown LA, which is like, it's gone a lot nicer. But even in downtown LA, like there's just neighborhoods, and it's not like Manhattan where like there's Little Italy, it's 2 blocks, this or that. Like it's kind of big
Yeah.
chunks. Like you go like Koreatown is like a whole ass neighborhood, and it's massive, it's big. And
Okay.
then you go a couple blocks, you're in Hollywood, and that's a different thing. So like I live in the valley up here in the suburbs, like Woodland Hills, Calabasas area, kind of where it's pretty suburbia. Like and this whole area, the valley's all like that, but it never really feels like congested like a city unless you're like in that downtown area. The rest of it's just like
Normal.
Like I was at a show last night in Highland Park, and I don't think I've even been over there. It's by like Pasadena, Glendale area, which is like means nothing, but it's like, it's the other side of suburbs. I'm
Okay,
like
cool.
I'm north of LA. They're like east of LA, northeast of LA, and like I've never been there in my I real like I've never been in this like area, and it was like a super cool street, like it looked
Yeah.
probably like a main street, like where you're at, like where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, you got the coffee shop, the bookstore, the venue, there's these interesting restaurants. It's not
Yeah.
just McDonald's, Chipotle, In and
Yeah.
Out, like Taco Bell thing. It's like this was like a whole vibe. I'm like, this neighborhood's really cool. I've never even been there because it's like 45 minutes that way, but that's
Yeah.
still LA, and it's like I've been here 12 years. I've probably seen like 30% of it, and that's probably extreme.
Yep. That's how Denver feels because Denver is like extremely spread out. Where,
It's same kind of thing where like
Yeah.
you have Eagleton and like
Yeah.
all these little towns, and like they're still kind of Denver, but
yeah, but not real. It's like, oh, you go up to Thornton, and I'm like, I think that's an hour away from me. Is that? I haven't actually looked it up. And then you look it up, and yeah, there it is, just north of Denver. And I'm like, but I'm down here, so like, I know these suburbs, not those suburbs.
Yeah, it's like Chicago with a bigger
Yes.
Chicagoland,
Yeah.
basically. Like just our Chicagolands, there's like 10 more of them, I think, or something like that. So it like we're all in a bunch of little Auroras out here, basically.
That's right, man. But okay, so kid life and stuff like that. Do you I have to ask, are you married? Do you share custody with your kid?
Yeah. The kids have different mothers and this and
Okay.
that, and that's a headache in itself at times. That we don't have to get into that stuff too much, but that stuff is a headache. But like it's like evolving, managing, and stuff like that. But it's a lot of kind of hectic schedules changing. I'm grabbing like this one this day, this one's staying here that day. Like it kind of varies. Picking her up, picking him up, like. It's very like full-time job while being part-time as well.
Yeah. I've heard any of my friends who are in similar situations, they'll always be like, it takes a while to figure out co-parenting. You figure out a rhythm, but I'm not going to act like whenever it started, this was a very peaceful and calming thing. Now that we have the rhythm down, it's all good.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd say a lot of times, like, my son's mom, for example, like we get along way better now that there's nothing to do with ever being together. It's like, this is so much easier because it's just that, but sometimes it's the opposite and stuff gets confusing, but, at the end of the day, like it's still like I'm neither of my kids are ever like 10 minutes or farther away really right now.
Cool. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're in the same neighborhood. It's all close, so. My son has autism, so he gets like some special treatments and stuff like that, like ABA stuff like that. So there's a little extra for him. And it's like, okay, he's right there. And he doesn't stay, he doesn't stay here most of the week, but like I'll be running him around for his stuff. Like I'm like Miss Daisy in this bitch kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I like them.
They aren't bad. They're okay. They're all right.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if either of them are at the top of my rankings, but like, yeah, they're on there at least. They're top 5 kids I know.
That's what. How, if I can ask, how like severe is your son's autism? Because I know it can range from like nonverbal to pretty high functioning.
He's like supposed to be nonverbal. Like that's what he's diagnosed with is like level 3 nonverbal.
Okay.
Which I think that's right. I don't know. Like it's supposed to be. It's fairly severe, but in the grand scheme of like severe stuff, like if we rank like severe autism out of 10, like I'd put it at like a 2 or a 3 because it's like pretty functional. He does his thing. He's super smart. Like, like he'll crush some like Legos way advanced for his age.
Sure.
He can feed himself, make his own food. Like he's weirdly advanced in certain areas. Just like if you were to like try to have a conversation with him right now, he wouldn't really say anything to you. He would like he'd just repeat stuff back maybe, or just like, he'll tell you what he wants, like kind of thing. He'll watch a video and be like, yeah, show me this or show me that, but he's not really chit chat.
Yeah. I have a cousin who is autistic and he's very high functioning, and I know my parents told me one way, like they started to ask questions of like, hey, how is he like developmentally? Was he would just, if like he was asked a question to get something, that's what he would say to get something. So like he would walk up and be like, would you like a drink? And they'd be like, no, Ty, I'm good. And then he'd be like, would you like a drink? And they're like, do you want a drink? And it was like, mm-hmm. And you're like,
good angle. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's I think autistic people, how they view the world is a really fascinating exploration.
Yeah. I think like the more I learn about it, I'm like, okay, this is probably like, there's a lot of things about it that make it a disability. So I don't like to use the word like, oh, it's a superpower. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like people say, because it is a hindrance on that. That's like, like my son's life is harder in a lot of ways, but it's like also easier in certain ways. And like, I mean, there's obviously, it's a spectrum, there's levels of this shit. I'm not trying to generalize too much, but like, I would bet that like 99% of the smartest humans on earth are all on there. Like,
yes,
that kid is like, he can't tie his own shoes and he can't tell you like his last name, but he could build like a Lego set for a 12-year-old when he's 6 years old. You know what I mean? Like just like could set things up like very advanced and things like that. But then he can't do these. I always say it's like a video game where you get like your own character and you can like, like you get so many attribute points. Yeah. You only get but you can usually you kind of make them well-rounded. You know what I mean? But like with the autistic kids, he just kind of like 2 or 3 of the attributes are full max out, and then the rest are at like 40, like
that makes sense.
That's how I put it.
That's fair. And I mean, like It's interesting because, like, yeah, disability advantages are all very can be charged words, and like the reality is like if someone who has autism is just different. So like whenever he walks into a room, you have to like prep the room for what your son needs.
Yeah. He's pretty chill. Like he's
That's
honestly
good.
like I say, he has special needs. My daughter has like extra needs. Like she's a diva. Such a diva. It's brutal, but I realize I'm like, you got this from me. You're me. Like you're girl me. Like I respect it, but but like Benji's like pretty chill. Like you can throw
Okay.
him in the car and like I'll drive down to San Diego and we'll go crash. We'll go crash for a couple days in San Diego, or we'll like drive back. He'll be in the car for 6 hours, 7 hours in a day. Like we've been doing this for years, and he just vibes with it. He's cool. You
That's
go to
cool.
a place to eat. He's adventurous. Like
That's
I'll
good.
be eating. Like he's not. It's so weird. Like he's like one of the boys. Like he's like a 15-year-old that just doesn't really talk or have any money. Like he's chill. He's chill. Just every now and then he might like flaunt at you or something like that if he doesn't get his way, or you do something that irritates him. But that's pretty chill, you know. Like
That is. I mean,
I
I
have
feel
friends
like
that do that too.
yeah, I know a lot
You
of
know?
kids, people who have kids and who are autistic, where like transitions are like massive. Where like if they transition but they haven't prepped them for the transition, it
Yeah, no,
turns into a tantrum and stuff.
he used to. I mean, there's occasional moments like kids
Yeah,
being
of
kids
course.
stuff, but for
Yeah,
the most part, his transitions are like stupid good. Like
that's awesome.
take him to school. He doesn't. He don't like when I was his age. Like I was like fake sleepwalking, so I didn't have to go to school. You know, like I was
Yeah.
trying to trick my grandma every day. I didn't want to get out of bed. He'll hop up, throw his shit on, goes to school. He just walks right in, doesn't even really say bye to you. Like, no, he gets it. School's done. Like, all right, I'm out of here. Like, going to the car. Now you're taking me right to my mom's. Like, all right, see you later. Thanks, bro.
That's good,
like,
man.
Right? Like, very lucky where it's like, it was very difficult when he was, you know, a couple years ago, like, as he's adjusting to things. But like, I think I've got it easy when it comes to disabled kids and disabled parenting and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty chill. Pretty chill.
Yeah. Tell me, how is your daughter a diva? What does she do that's a diva?
She's literally a diva. She like when yesterday we had to watch NSYNC live at Madison Square Garden. It's what she wants to watch.
Sure.
She's three. She's born in 2021. Why is she worried about NSYNC? But I love NSYNC, and I guess she heard it. I don't know. She's vibed with it, and she's like, we're doing the dances. You know, like they drop down, like they're the marionettes. They pop up.
Yeah.
You know, like we got to do the dance. Like it's just literal. Full on diva. You got to bring me this. You got to bring me that. She speaks Spanish too, so she'll like speak to me in Spanish sometimes, and then she'll like be like, "Oh, zapatos," which is like shoes, I guess. And I don't know.
I don't know that.
You know, look at me. Like, what do I know? And she's like, shoes. And I'm like, oh, damn. Like, okay. Sorry, honey. Like, let me grab you your shoes, your zapatos.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm sorry. But it's like, she can tell she's smarter than me. She manipulates me. You see her around her mother, her grandmother, any of these other people, pretty well mannered. But when it comes to me, it's just like everything, all the toys come out. We do this. Dad, let's go to Sev. Let's go to Seven. I'm like, you want to go to the 7-Eleven? You're 3. We can't be hanging outside the 7-Eleven yet. You got a whole decade of being a teenager to do that. And she's like,
yeah.
We pull in. She has to grab everything. Like she's just like, and like on the bad side, like if my son Benji has a toy, she like is like, I want it. Like that's mine. Share. And if she doesn't get it, you know, gets cries, which is, you know, normal stuff. But she's just like very dramatic about it. And it's like, I get it. Like we're both drama queens, probably. You know, she got that from me. Like legit. Like 2 years ago, I remember like YouTube does like a Spotify Wraps thing where it tells you like the most played music videos or whatever.
Yeah.
Legitimately that year, it was like my number one was NSYNC live at Madison Square Garden. Actually, boys, I want it that way. It's gonna be me, NSYNC. It's gonna be me live at Madison Square Garden. NSYNC, bye bye. Like just boy bands. And then one year when she was 2, she was just hard on George Strait. Just had to listen to George. Why? I never knew George Strait before this. It was like I was at like a holiday party with her mom's family and they were listening to like, you know, like Latin music. And I was just kind of like being silly. And I was like, well, let me show you about like your white people culture, you know, like I'm just joking around.
What's the whitest music?
I did not know George Strait before this. I put on George Strait and she's just like, so into it. And it's like, well, I know all the George Strait hits now. Like, it was so weird. It was a year like where George Strait was on like Spotify. It's like Bruce Springsteen, Bright Eyes, Taylor Swift, Blink-182, George Strait. Like,
Straight.
how? Yeah, I don't know. But that's
We I did that with Sam Cooke, where like I used to live next to like a used record store. So I would just go in and be like,
Yes.
all right, cool, I'm just gonna get this. And I gotten like a Sam Cooke album or something like that. And my oldest daughter like fell in love with it. So I was like, man, I have to listen to Sam Cooke again.
right, yeah.
This is the worst. Like if you can infect your child with a musician, at least make it one that you don't hate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I thought the same thing too, but then she went through like she's really heavy on Blink and Alkaline Trio. Last year, my most played album was the new Alkaline Trio album. Like I liked it, but like I don't know if it's
Not
not
that
great.
much.
And one more time, the most recent Blink album, I'm like, honey, like there's so many good Blink albums. Like I could show you, like this one's solid, but like you don't want to listen to like Enema or like Dude Ranch or something. No, and just like you put them on, she just starts vibing and dancing to it. She's like, I want X. X is Blink. Smiley face is, or X is Trio. Smiley face is Blink. And she's like, I need that. Like, I have an Alkaline Trio tattoo. She sees it and she's like, oh, I want to listen to X. Like, I can't change around her. She sees it. And it's like, so like, you know, those are two of my favorite bands of all time. And she's kind of, you know, low key almost ruined them, you know? So
it is funny though, because your kids will like, it's like too much of a good thing, right? When your kids are like, for them to be like, I only want the new stuff. I'm like, the new stuff isn't bad. It's just that I fell in love with the old stuff.
I would like to show you the other stuff. Yeah. And even then, I don't
Yeah.
want to listen to those old records all day with you because like eventually I might get tired of it and I don't want to resent you, you know?
Yeah. I'm intrigued to
It's a heavy
see.
conversation for the 3-year-old, but she gets it.
It's like, hey man, there's a limit. It's like, it's funny to try to like relate it in which they understand it. Be like, hey, remember when you ate too many candies and your belly hurt?
Yeah.
That's what, if I listen to this song one more time, that's how I'm going to feel. Except
Right,
it's going to be
yeah.
in my brain.
Yeah. And it doesn't help. It's just like Blink is just not super appropriate for a 3-year-old, I
No,
guess. Like,
not even
I think
slightly.
it's funny, but like one of the songs is like, you know, it Dance With Me, it starts with just Tom being like, you know, I teach masturbation. I'm always like, you know, have fun with it. Like, that's how it starts. And she hears it and is like, it's like, you're going to repeat this somewhere and I'm going to get investigated, you know? Like, come on.
Pretty much. Yeah. I have a rule in the car. My daughters have figured out that there's the repeat once, like where it just does the one song over and over again. Yeah. So whenever we're in the car.
That's a 9 and 7-year-old thing to do, too.
It is. I'm like, okay, guys. So whenever we're in the car, we can listen to a song 3 times. But whenever it gets past 3 times, we have to listen to a different song. Because like kids' music, most of it, I had to explain to them. They were like, why is this song so short? And I was like, okay, if it's like a minute or 2 minutes long, it's probably because it's in a TV show. And if it's like 4 or 5 minutes, it's probably from a movie. So now it's like one of the few times my kids actually listened. So like, I'll be like, oh, this song is so short. So we need to go another. We're like, oh, it's because it's from a TV show. And I'm like, that's what you listen to? That's what you paid attention to?
Wow. Of all the lessons. Yeah. I too like to pass on messages of media to my.
Yes. And it means nothing. Like, it doesn't matter. They're just like, why can't we listen to that song a 4th time? And I'm like, well,
rules are rules.
The song is only a minute. And so we've already listened to it 5 times in the 10-minute drive. And I don't like this song that much.
I can't. Yeah. It's rough. That's rough. I feel for you.
It is. I think the last time my Spotify Wrapped reflect what I listened to was 2018. So that would have been, I had a 2-year-old and a 0-year-old. So since 2018, I just get depressed every time I look at my Spotify Wraps.
Right. You're like, oh, everyone's putting out their cool rap looking cool. And you're just like, oh, my shit's so burnt because of my kids. Like, oh, you guys make me so uncool.
Pretty much. Or it's because, you know, it'll do like for a number of plays. And it is like, hey, you listened to this one Barbie Mermaid song 500 times this year. And I'm like, yeah. Also, that's not that song is only 45 seconds long. You can't hold this against me.
Whoa. Yeah. Let's look at elapsed time here.
Let's zoom out here a little bit, Spotify.
Yeah, right. Look at the big picture.
There was one time The National wasn't my number 1 listen to. And I was like, hey, listen, I don't know who hacked my Spotify, but everyone knows, like just going up to people and being like, don't believe this lie. We all know The National was number 1. Okay.
Right. You're like, at some point, the Spotify people are going to call and check in on you. Like, what's going on?
the Spotify wellness checks. I feel like that would be a phenomenal SNL skit.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Like you're listening. Yeah, that. Oh fuck! Don't take any ideas from us if you're watching this, Lauren. But like that is solid.
Yeah.
Like, hey, wow. Actually, yeah, wow. I might bite that for an Emo Kids Anonymous ad where it's like,
You
yeah,
can.
we're monitoring. Yeah, we're monitoring like our members. Like you're in recovery. Like brother, I one or two times like my past, but like you've been listening to War all the time for the last 2 days. Like, come on, bro.
Are you okay, man? Are you okay?
Yeah,
You?
right? Yeah. Come on, brother. It's existential on prom night, not existential in your apartment for 17 straight hours.
Exactly.
Go outside. Oh, this show is imperfect, dads. I did have one bad experience as an adult, as a parent here.
Yeah.
That I would like to dive into for fun on your show.
Please do. Let's do it.
So it's 2021. Or no, I'm lying. It's 2023. It's September 17th, 2023. It's week 2 of the NFL season, and the Chargers are playing in Nashville, Tennessee against the Titans.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the Titans beat us 2 years in a row, remember? And they'd always kept beating, like we kept losing to the Titans in like bullshit ways. I go to brunch. Let me just tell you, like, I'm a season ticket holder for the Chargers, and I don't I don't drink. I don't like, I'll have like some drinks every now and then, but like, my dad was an alcoholic. I went to AA meetings. I understand what alcoholics are. Like, out of respect for them, I was never an alcoholic. I just was like a guy that, like, if we're having a good time, I'm gonna have a good time. Like, if we're having a good time, I'm still gonna have a good time, just very responsibly now. But anyways,
got you. Yeah.
So I go to brunch with my son. It's about a 30-minute drive away, and I go with my son, and like I will drink like at the football games or like, you know, like this or that, but like I'm never drinking hard alcohol or heavy anything other than like, you know, like a Michelob or something like that. Or Coors. Like I don't know. I get bottomless mimosas. We're at a watch party. I'm watching the game, and the game's frustrating as hell, I guess. My son's having a great time, and I thought I had 2 or 3 mimosas. I thought I was fine. Like 100% thought I was fine. And I guess, you know, Chargers losing overtime. I leave the game about 1:15 or so. I'm driving home. And at some point, at this point, I'd already crashed into it, like sideswiped a vehicle, like while I'm driving.
No. Yeah.
And I merge onto the 101 freeway, and about like a half a mile up there, I like slam on my brakes because there's a car in front of me, and I swerve and I hit the railing. And the car rolls over, and I have to. The car flipped, and I get out. I get my son out, like the airbags deployed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the police come, the ambulances come, really, like, because I'm busted up. Like I had staples in my head on one of these sides here. It was gnarly, and then they take me into. We're talking about imperfect dads. This was like the most imperfect moment of a dad's life. Like I'm literally, it's like I would have excused like my dad. Like I joke about with my dad. My dad now, he'll be like, you know, like I'll be like, you were drinking everywhere you drove with me. He'd be like, yeah, I never flipped the car, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, like I had to take, you know, these classes, and they're in the class, they're talking, they're like, you know, the average person drinks and drives 85 times before they're caught. I'm like, bro, this would have been like number 7 for me, maybe, or something like that. Like I'd be driving around, like, not with my kids, but younger, like, you know, smoking weed or something like that, but never drinking and driving, because I had a friend die from drinking and driving when I was 18. So like scared me straight. This was, you know, so insanely not normal behavior from me, you know, and so I get ambulance to to Cedars-Sinai in Beverly Hills, which is like where the Kardashians go. That's where like Biggie Smalls died. Like that's like the most expensive hospital they could have taken me to. I was nowhere close. Like there had to be like 6 hospitals in between this shit. Like this is just like, I deserved all punishment. And one of the punishments was we're taking me to Cedars-Sinai. And, you know, they run me through all the machines. They do a blood draw to check my, you know, alcohol levels and things like that. And like I was over the limit, you know, like very much like, and my son's mom comes to pick up my son. My son is totally, you know, fine. He had like some scratches and stuff. Thankfully, he's fine. And, you know, the police are going to her. They're like, how could you leave your kid with this guy? And she's like, I didn't even know he drank. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know, you know, like she's like, he doesn't party like that. Like, and they tell me the police tell me what's going on. They handcuff me to the hospital bed. Like, you know, I'm in the hallway of like Beverly Hills, nice hospital, and like I'm handcuffed to a bed and I'm busted up. I think I have a neck brace on at this point. Even they're afraid. Like I'm like, they ran like every test of me. Like I got like a full physical, and you know, I'm like, I just need to talk to, you know, like Benji's mom. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, you're fine. Like this isn't, you know, you. So they take me to the jail, the Van Nuys jail, which was humiliating because I lived right next door to this jail. Like I lived on the same street. So it's like I'm driving and I'm just like, I moved out of this neighborhood. Now I'm back in this neighborhood like this.
Yeah.
And at this point, like I'm just like, I'm humiliated. You know what I mean? This is like the word. Like I'm just glad my son is okay. I don't know how I made this mistake. I'm just, like I joke about it now, but like for a long time, it was like, I'd think about, be like, oh my God,
Yeah,
like,
of course.
fucking, So I go to the jail, which sucks. I get bailed out. My daughter's mom bailed me out because my aunt it was in Canada. And it was like, I get to the jail and they're like, I got arrested one time, like 10 years ago, where they thought I had it. They took me in because the car smelled like weed and they didn't know any better. Like all the charges got dropped. So I'd been through the process one time. I kind of understood and I see them like writing it up and the guy's like, felony. He hands it over the thing and he's like, felony, DUI, this and that, bail's $100,000. And I'm like, holy shit. And the cop is super cool with me. Like he kind of started understanding like, okay, like this guy just really f***ed up. Like he's not a piece of shit. He's an idiot. You know what I mean? There's a difference.
There's a difference.
Big difference. I'm working on not being an idiot, but but he I'm like, dude, like I need you to get my phone out of my pocket. Like I got to get my aunt's, I'm handcuffed, stand there. He's like, all right, I got you. Like he gets the number, he writes down my, family, like number for me to start calling and stuff like that. I get bailed out in the middle of the night. I'm walking around my old neighborhood in a bloody white Derwin James Charger jersey. The blood all washed out. I like to think of that as my lucky jersey, but it might be my unlucky one. And so I had to go to court for this, and I got investigated by the CPS because it's an accident involving kids. So they had to, I get my boss, and thankfully, like every person in my life and in my world understood, like that's not, like they talked to my son's mom, they talked to, my work, they came here and looked at my place and this and that. It's like, this isn't me, like this is just a really bad mistake. And it was, like they charged me with felony DUI, felony child endangerment, a felony DUI with this or that. And thankfully after the investigation, they dropped the child endangerment thing down. Like that wasn't a felony, but like I had like to this day, like this was, almost 2 years ago, like I have like for the next year or so, like on my record, it's like if you search me, it's like Robert Laffoon, like there's a felony on there. It's like felony DUI, this or that. So like it was the worst, like it overall costs like $30-something thousand altogether between the lawyers, the fees. Yeah. I got a bill in the mail the other day, like from it just for what the cost of like the police officers investigating and stuff like that. Like this is a new bill. It's $2,500. Like, terrible. Worst mistake ever, like you talk about imperfect dads, like this was like the worst. And, I had to do like DUI classes, AA classes, which were, they're all fine. I had to do like a parenting class, like on a Zoom thing, which is like, it's a nice class. The lady's a little backwards. She upsets me a little with the way she talks about like stuff. She's a little too old timey. She says some dumb things about autism, but like, like I have to do these things and it's like humiliating and just going through this process and stuff like that. But it was like very much like a learning point of like, okay. It's like same thing. It's like, like I was an alcoholic, like I'll still have fun. Like I'll still, if the kids aren't around, I'll still drink or if I'm not driving somewhere, but it's like, okay, need to, like never be, it's like people talk about like having a plan. It's like, I never had a plan. Like it was like the free mimosa or the bottomless mimosas were like the same price as like one beer. Like, why wouldn't I just get some mimosas? Like, I'm thinking like, and then I realized I've never had mimosas outside like my house on Christmas. And it's like, well, maybe I'm pretty fucked up on Christmas. Like, I didn't know. Like, I told my buddy, like, I have a friend, Robert Nealman, who my kid rankings, Robert Nealman's daughter, Cammie, is at the top of my kid rankings. Like it's
Number
like a running
one.
joke. Yeah. On my wall, I have these stickers. The first ever sticker I had on here was from Cammie. I love her.
Sweet.
But my friend Robert Nealman, like I stopped texting him the day of, and you know what I mean? He went and searched like the hospitals and the jails to find me. He's like, we haven't heard from Rob in 5 hours. The Chargers played today. He just disappeared. This doesn't add up. He called the jail. Robert found me online. Robert Nealman, best guy I know. And if the Chargers ever win a Super Bowl, I'm going to flip his car out of love. with my hands, not from drinks, like just with my
Yeah,
hand, and
yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah,
help, with the help of some big burly, like whatever Samoans or whatever I
Absolutely.
can track down.
Yeah.
But
Of
like
course.
Robert Newman called the jail, like trying to negotiate my release. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
like, along with the shame of the kid, there's a lot of other stuff like that, or like my kid's mom having my back after that.
Yeah.
It was just like, I was like, a lot of like gratitude. It was like, you know, like in hindsight, it's like I could have died there. You know what I mean? Like this or that. Like he could have. Like I could have hurt someone else. Like it was best case scenario, but it was like a major learning experience. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I already feel like with having kids, like, you're trying to teach them, like, you will have days in which you do stuff, when you look up and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? But like, how do you, like, that doesn't define who you are, which I'm glad you have people in your life who are like, Rob made a really dumb decision.
Yeah, Rob
He
did
makes
something
dumb decisions.
stupid.
I'm used to making dumb decisions, but not like this.
Yeah, so exactly. Like this is, you know, like I'd say, I was like, you know, like I didn't like it. Like one of the worst parts is like dealing with, you know, like relatives or people I don't see that often, where it's like, what's been going on? It's like, that's a really bad headline. But like the rest of the year, like like my normal life is boring as fuck. Like I'm smoking some weed on my patio, but it's like, I'm not drinking like that. I'm not partying. I'm not doing anything. I'm driving my kids around, you know, like this, you know, I'm running errands, like I'm going to work, I'm doing this, and it's like, oh my God, Rob almost went to jail. He had to wear an ankle monitor to make sure he didn't drink for 6 months. He like has a blowy in his car, this and that. And it's like, what a degenerate. It's like, bro, I just had one really, really, really bad day.
Yep. I had one bad decision that I'm grateful doesn't have like no one's dead, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like the punishment's really bad. And like I said from the beginning, it's like, I'll accept any of the punishment. You know, like that's my bad. I did something terrible, but it's like, thankfully, like there's like a way out, you know, like, you know, like for the most part, like, you know, I'll joke about it now because I joke about everything, but it's like, for the most part, it's like, most people have like, with that, the consequences of that have gone. My son doesn't remember. He doesn't really like football. I don't know if that's because of this, but if you mention football, he's like, no more football. I also took him to games after that and carried him. I think he just got sick of going to the stadium. I don't think he's associating that because he doesn't bring up the car accident.
Okay. Well, I mean, also though, like being a Chargers fan has to be exhausting and depressing.
I tried convincing my lawyer, like, you need to use the Chargers defense. She didn't understand. I'm like, you don't understand. This is the Chargers' fault here. I didn't really do I'm a victim. The Chargers were frustrated. We lost in overtime to the Titans. The Titans, like, come on.
They're awful.
Derrick Henry was still there, so it's tough. We couldn't stop the run. It beat us in overtime. And like, full disclosure, I didn't remember who won the game. I just remember being in the hospital, like, after I'd been handcuffed, this or that. I remember being like, the Chargers lose? And they're like, yeah, the Chargers lost. I'm like, of course they fucking did.
Of course they did. If I could just have one bright spot today, it would be that the Chargers won.
Yeah, terrible. Like, no, it's like, Dean Spanos, you owe me that money back. I'll split the expense of this traumatic experience with you. But like, I know you got the coin, brother. You know?
Of course. What went through your head whenever you were like handcuffed to a hospital gurney? Because I feel like in my head, I'd be like, I can never return. Whatever I do, and with the rest of my life, I will never put myself in a position to be handcuffed to a gurney in a hospital ever again.
I didn't think that till later. So the first bit was still shock. Like, so when I get out of the car, and I get my son out of the car. Like, I don't realize I'm bloody. I see him. He seems like he doesn't need medical. He's got a cut. Like, he's got a cut or like a scrape thing. But it's like in my head, especially at that time, it's like, we're fine. Okay, he's cool. Like, people are out of their car helping. And like, they're like, have you been drinking? I'm like, I had a glass of wine. I thought I was driving him to his grandma's house. I was nowhere near his grandma's house. Like, I don't know why I thought that. Like, and I'm like, we got to go. And I turn around and the car's upside down. Like, you know, like it's on the roof. And in my head, I'm literally just like, fuck, I got to flip the car back over. Like, and I'm just like, I'm like, that's going to be a bitch. Like, I can, you know, lean,
this is going to be a pain in the ass.
Literally for like 30 seconds, I'm like that. And then I get, you know, I'm going to the hospital and all I'm thinking is like everything, like I'm still so in shock. And I think like I got beat up pretty bad. Like I must have hit my head on the steering wheel. Like I got like 6 or 7 staples. Like I think I probably like had a concussion at the very least, you know. But like once they handcuff me, I'm literally just, all I'm thinking is like, I'm ashamed. I'm like convinced at this point I'm going to jail. Like I'm going to actual jail. Probably not for my whole life, but I'm going to jail and I deserve it. Like at this point, I'm not thinking shame. and not ever getting back until later when I have to go sit in the jail down the street from my old place.
I'm so glad you understand this of like wanting to be like, I can be a piece of crap and I can be an idiot, but in a different realm. Like I'm an idiot
Right.
over here. This is a
Right.
different type of idiot, and I'm not familiar with the idiocracy
Right?
of this.
Yeah, I compartmentalize it. Like I've always like that's why the DUI was such a big deal. It's like I've always been a degenerate. I'm still a degenerate, but I'm a controlled degenerate that understands the limits. I'm a chihuahua in a car. I might act tough or bark loud, but like if you roll the window all the way down, I'm sitting in the seat. You know what I mean? I'm not getting in trouble with the law or anything like that. You guys are fighting like that. You're getting beat. You're gonna get suspended. Like I'm not doing that. Like I'm not getting in real trouble.
Yeah, I'll push a limit, but I know the power doesn't rest in my favor. So I'm not going to try to push that in a way in which I can prove to myself that other people have more power than I do.
No, yeah, I'm not putting I'm very advantageous. Yeah, very self-serving is the word I'd use in good and bad, where it's like, I'm going to protect myself in this regard. Like, yeah, I'm not the predator here. I'm trying to be one of the guys you don't see.
Yep. Pretty much. Before we start wrapping up and everything, I do want to give a chance for you to talk about like all the podcasts, all the stuff you're doing and all that, all of your love of emo music, even if it seems to be more third wave. And that's a whole other discussion.
So I need to have you. You're going to come on the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast. Okay. The episodes come out every Wednesday. We need to talk some Saddle Creek, like you said. So I third wave. Here's the thing: the third wave gets the clicks, so the people want to hear about the Fall Out Boys and the MCRs. I don't talk a lot of MCRs, even like brand new. Like I try not to talk about these as much. I try to talk now more fourth and fifth if I can. Like I try to like even it out, where it's like I say like the third wave stuff, like you guys, we like this is cool, but I try not to be too nostalgic. Like let's think about these other things or something newer, especially now that there's newer bands are so great. But I have the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast, my co-host Amanda, who's like, I would vote for her to be president tomorrow if she ran. And starting this Monday, the Monday of the 21st, I'll say, because I'm guessing it's coming out after that. Monday the 21st, starting Monday the 21st, and every Monday after that will be the Robb cast, also on the Emo Kids Anonymous podcast channel, which is basically going to be just some YouTube interviews with some people that are semi in the scene and the like, my buddy Brian Street Team, who is a adult film actor, is going to be my first guest. I got a guy from a great Philly band, the Tisberries, the Emo Diaries book guys coming on. I got Scott's Records, who is a major. I don't know if you ever see Scott's Records. Yeah. I have Scott on. I had my Emo Diaries guy on, Will Ramsey, who's like a big third wave guy. And I was like, I need to even it out. So I had on afterwards. I interviewed Scott because I was like, I need a defender of the Midwest here. Yep. Like I need a purist to come in and kind of clear some stuff up. We need to cover both bases. Yes. So those are my two shows, Mondays and Wednesdays on the internet. You can also find me on the internet website called TikTok, and the other ones with the same name, but more actively on TikTok under the name Robb Laffoon, Robb with two B's, ROBB, LAFFOON.
Nice. Okay, so tell me why I know why I love emo music and early 2000s alternative stuff. Tell me why you do, as if that's easy to summarize in like two sentences,
No. I think it's I think a lot of the pop music of the 90s, like a lot of the pop rock, kind of like, while not being, was like third wave emo adjacent, I'd almost say, like the Goo Goo Dolls and Matchbox 20 and Third Eye Blind, these bands that you hear with my mom. And there's kind of like a soft tenderness to them. And it's like, I loved pop music. I grew up in, 99 is like my favorite year, where it's like, I love the boy bands. I like that shit. And I also liked nu metal, which like, I think I liked the aggression of nu metal or something like that. And I think at some point they all kind of merged in. I did a lot of moving as a kid. It's something I realized lately. I did a lot of moving. And when I was on the Stereotherapy podcast, I therapized myself and realized I was always the outsider, because like I went to, 5 different schools in the first, 7 years of school. So it's like, I lived in Oregon and then Palm Springs and then Canada. And then we switched schools in Canada 3 times, where it's like, okay, I'm always at a new school. I'm always the new kid. Like, even if I'm like, sometimes I'd be the cool kid at the school. Sometimes I'd be like a loner, it always changed. But no matter what, it was like, I was always the kid from somewhere else. So punk rock called to me, and I was a big punk rock fan at first, and I still am, but like my first love was like, NoFX, Rancid, like those skate punk bands.
All that California pop. Yeah.
Yeah. And then at some point, as the emo boom kind of takes off, I think it just kind of steered in that direction, because like the hooks were better, maybe more so. There was more to it, It starts with I got a compilation disc that had Fall Out Boy on it before Fall Out Boy was like anything, like they spelled the name like without spaces, and it was called the last good thing about this side of town or something like that. Or like they didn't call it Grand Theft Auto on there. And it was like, oh, this is great. I think I like this more than the punk stuff. I love Dashboard. And at some point that just became everything. And as an adult, I tried to not consider myself as much with that. But with TikTok, before I got TikTok, I'd see the reels and stuff on Instagram and I would get upset because like, it honestly felt like cultural appropriation. You see these people that were like, oh, these 10 emo classics. And it's like All Time Low and Linkin Park and 3 Days Grace and Blink. And I'm just like, no, this isn't right to me. Like I was making content for like 6 months before. There was more like degenerate comedy stuff for the pouches I promote, things like that. And then football. And then at some point, like I just started posting more music stuff. And like, it was like, I was running from this for so long, but it's like, that is literally my culture. Like that is my world. Like I need to get into it. Like, and it's just like, the deeper I can get into it now, the more like other people connect. And like, there's a thing with dudes where it's like, there's an old saying where it's like guys' versions of therapy is like just naming off random old football players that are, you know, like mid-level wide receivers from their childhood. I think naming and talking about these random bands is a lot of the people that follows me way of therapy as well. Like people like, I'll get messages from people that's like, you remember Cartel? You like, what are your thoughts of Emery? Like, like, do you like May? Like, it's just like, but it's just like, I could tell it's the same thing as them being like, bro, Joey Galloway.
You
know what I mean? It's like it's the same kind of thing, you know, like, oh man, like Marion Barber, you know, like it's the same, like they're just listing off things. They're listing off things that they remember from when they had serotonin and they still like, have, you know, like that feeling, which is like, it's nice. You know, it's nice. I think it's a good community despite the bad stuff associated with our music scene. I think in general, it's a nice place. Like my comment section from when I would talk about sports to when I talk about music did a 180 where sports was always negative. People just like talking. And it's like, we're just talking shit because of where the teams people like based on where they're from. Like, brother, we're doing racism here, kind of. You know what I mean? Like you're judging people based on where they're from. Like, I'm sorry, I like the San Diego teams. I grew up in San Diego. Like, let's be positive. Let's talk about the things we like about. You know, like I still like the guys on your team. Like, whereas with music, it's like the most negative it gets is like, I don't think I include that band in this genre. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really get that negative. It's like there's positive discourse on there. I really love it.
No, I agree with that sentiment of like, grew up downloading all the stuff on like Audio Galaxy and LimeWire. Like most of my coming of age, like emo music was like the first music that was like mine. Like my older brother didn't show it to me, like, or something like that. And so like, it is very much part of me where if someone's like, if someone's like, hey, do you like the Anniversary? And I'm like, yeah, for like 20 years or so now. Is that okay if I admit this? Because I've been listening to the Anniversary for a very long time. Or like,
yes, things like that.
But like,
or you're like, this is my culture. It's like, this is like ours. This is mine. Like people say like, you know, like that is our world. And like, the thing is too about that genre, much like, and there's other genre, you know, stuff like that, like, you know, other alternative scenes and real hip hop heads are the same way where it's like, it's not like liking country music where it's just the song on the radio. You're like, I like that artist. Like this was 90% of your identity was this type of music. Whereas like, that's what people associate you with. That's what you would spend your time trying to find. Like this was such a large part of your life.
No, I think we're going to have on, I did get Jim Septic from the Get Up Kids to agree to do an episode.
Beautiful.
And I'm like, everyone who I almost want to go ahead and like send out a text to everyone who I knew like in middle school and high school and be like, hey, remember all those burn CDs I made you with the Get Up Kids on it? Guess who I just got to talk to for like an hour?
Awesome.
And everyone will be like, oh yeah, I'm really happy for you because you wouldn't shut up about that band for like 20 years.
I do some work with some labels, but like some like, you know, like promotional stuff and things like that. But when one of them hit me up, I remember it was like after looking at like something, like it was a something corporate post and it was like they hit me up and things like that. And like, you know, like, we'll talk to you about promoting some of our artists and that. And I'm just like, you want to give me money to talk about the bands that I'm already going to talk about. The bands that I did, like one of my best friends from high school, the girl who showed me Jack's Mannequin, like, she followed me on TikTok recently and I got so happy and just like, I like, you knew me back then. It's weird when people that actually know me follow me online because I feel obnoxious about it. I'm just like, I'm so aggressive online. I'm like, I don't want to weird out the people that I know, but like, and it's just like, she's like, I'm so happy for you. And it's like, yes, like I will, like any sort of getting like where it's like I can be the, like I've had people tell me it's like, oh, you reminded me of this and you made me want to go back and listen. It's like I am now like getting paid, even if it's minimal money, to be like, check out these things. Like, brother, I have been doing this for free my entire life. Like, this is my dream job.
Yeah. Also, you talking about California punk and then like moving over to emo music. I feel like Anti-Flag, Pennywise, all those bands were constantly about rebellion. And then like
Yes.
emo music was like, but don't you feel a little sad? And I was like, I feel more sad than I feel like I can overthrow the government. So I naturally
Right? Yeah,
just gravitated.
I think that's too, is like that scene hit at like the right time. Like I turned 13 in 2003. You know what I mean? Like I found, or I turned 14 in 2003. So it's like, that's right when like I found like I liked these punk bands, but the records were were a little older. And then it was like, I'd heard AFI, and then it's like, Sing the Sorrow came out. It's like, oh, this is a little darker. I heard Alkaline Trio. I'm like, there's a little darker. Like, I kind of liked the darker thing because I was hitting that age where it's like, oh, I like Nirvana. I like this.
Yeah.
My parents are divorced. I got to live with a stepdad. I got to live in Canada. This sucks. Or these you know, like, or whatever. Like, it's like, there'd be so many where it's like, everything's such a bigger deal. Like, I had a lot more emotions then. Like, and as I get older, I listen to a lot less. I listen to a lot more like punk stuff now just because I'm so like bubblegum cheerful. Like, where it's like, I don't really feel sad like that, but I did for a long time. And when I did, those motherfuckers have my back. Like,
I thought of this as a fun way to describe it too. Cause like we grew up in the era of boy bands, right? And boy bands were always like, how do I get the girl back? And I feel like emo music was like, I never had the girl to begin with. And that always resonated.
And that was a little more relatable, right? I didn't like, maybe when I was older, I would have had the girl in the first place, but at this point, I didn't have the girl. I didn't. And it's like, I'm at a new school. I'm not the cool kid. Like fuck, exactly. I'm like, there's something to it, you know?
Yeah. Like no girl, like I'm lucky if a girl makes eye contact with me. So maybe the songs about how do I get the girl back don't relate. But the song
those guys are handsome as hell. They're doing the dances. Like I couldn't really like, there was, like this was like that perfect blend between that stuff and like the new metal where it's like, well, I don't hate my dad. You know, I'm not like,
I don't hate my dad that much.
I don't hate my dad. So I like, the corn it was a little too much for me. It's like, I needed that in between. And then MCR comes along and they're like, I'm not okay. And I'm like,
I get that.
Either am I. Like, they go to like, look at that. They're wearing like school person clothes. Like I go to a school, you know, like they're just like me for real.
I think Saves the Day on their very first album has a song called Hold, which is just about like yearning after a girl and being like, I just want to roll around on the grass with you. Like, that's all I want to do. And I'm like, that feels weirdly romantic to me. And I don't even know how to interact with a girl.
Right? You're like, oh, that sounds itchy, but I don't know. Like, I guess
was it freshly mowed? Because that's a little different. Yeah.
What's the setup on this grass? Is it near a dog park?
Is it like long? Is it short? Like, is it Bermuda? I kind of need to know some more grass details.
Motherfuckers got allergies. Yeah.
Can I take a Zyrtec first? That'd be great.
Right? Yeah, I didn't know, but you don't know. Like, I start picturing because like, the emo, like those bands, you kind of be like, oh, that's romance. That's how you do it, you know?
Yeah. Or like, I think Dashboard always did a really good job of that. Of like, you know, you feel like the deficit that you are inside of you. And like then Dashboard or a band like that would communicate that, and you'd be like, "Hey, that's what I've been feeling."
Yeah,
there it is.
No, and Dashboard was my gateway to sad boy shit. Like before I found Bright Eyes, it would have been my dad walked in like he's like, "You want to play guitar?" I'm like, and I was like, "Yeah, I already know how to play guitar." Like I lied to him and told him I could play. He's like, "Oh, I work with this guy who like is a guitarist. So I'll go with him to Guitar Center, buy a guitar." So I went down to the beach where there was this like transient dude, Kyle, who played the guitar, and he'd do Nirvana covers. And I went to him. I was like, "Yo, my dad's gonna buy me a guitar. I need you to teach me. I'll pay you." Help me out. And he's like, "All right, I got you." So it's like Dashboard's the reason I got the guitar, and then I just learned Nirvana songs. So everything I wrote was sad.
That's fair. So my entry would have been the Get Up Kids, and let me think of what else. I was listening to Bright Eyes like whenever I was in like 6th and 7th grade. Like, so like all of
early.
That.
Nobody showed me Bright Eyes. Yeah, I think I had to find them on my own. Like that was an accident.
Yeah, nope. I was probably like just a little 7th grader questioning because like Don't Know When But a Day's Gonna Come off of Lifted is very much just like everything is like it's the most like nihilistic song ever. And I'm just there like in 7th grade listening to it. And I'm like,
Lifted would be too heavy for me at 12, I think.
That's right. That's what I was listening to in like 6th and 7th grade.
I wouldn't have been ready for Lifted. Like I was on Blink and POD when I was in the 6th grade. Like, Lifted would have been a tough one,
We all have our own journeys, and mine was mostly nihilism. So anyway.
Beautiful.
It's exhausting. It's very exhausting. No, it is funny now also to have kids. And like, if my kids were like, hey, can I listen to what you listen to whenever you're in sixth grade? I'd be like, no. Like, there's no way you can listen to Elliott Smith whenever
Yeah.
you're in sixth grade. Like,
You're
there's
not
no
ready.
way. You're not going to do it.
You don't need to listen to Elliott Smith. Like, I don't want to do that to you yet. Wait,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be listening to Elliott Smith until like your freshman year of college.
Freshman year of college.
You got in on it. Yeah, you were an early user. Like, that didn't fit your brain chemistry.
It probably
It's like
did.
trying drugs too early. You should not
Yeah.
be getting on emo that early.
You shouldn't. My brother's 6 years older than me, and we shared a room. So he would just be like, hey, here's this new Radiohead album. And I'd be like, cool, I guess I'll listen to this. So
you had an older brother to show you.
Yeah.
I had to find this all on like loosely from the outside world. That explains it. Yeah, you had good entry point.
Yep.
Good entry point.
Good entry point. And then I would do a lot of like figure out what label the bands were on and then just get obsessed with that label. So
That was the move.
Grant. Yep, that was the move.
That was the move. Like labels were like, I couldn't tell you who signed to what now, but back then it was like, okay, these are the Epitaph, these are the Fats, these are the
Here's
Vagrants.
Victory.
Yeah, the Victory. It's like, okay, I like these. And because there was the samplers too. It's like, okay, I like one drive-through band. Surely I'll like the rest. And for the most part, you would at least check them all out. Every one of them. Couldn't tell you 5 artists on any of these labels now.
No, except for Polyvinyl. I think Polyvinyl I could probably tell you 4 or 5, but that's about
okay.
it.
But that's it. That's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's still pretty good. But besides that, no, it's not the same as like, hey, here's Tooth and Nail. All right, they will probably have some Christian affiliation if they're on Tooth and Nail, and I know what to expect now.
Yeah, you know right away. Yeah, it was very clear. Like Hopeless, you're going to get more pop punk like this. Fearless, those came along later. It's like, okay, well, there's the Epitaph, and there's the Fat, and then there's like the Hellcat. Is like that might be more Scar, more Oi, or something like that. Like, okay, I didn't like the Hellcat as much as I'd like Fat ones or the Epitaph ones. You know.
Barsuk was like all Pacific Northwest, but not Sub Pop, but like Sub Pop adjacent and all that.
That's it. Because when I was a kid, like Sub Pop, like was like Nirvana at one point, but then like in my era, Sub Pop was the Shins. Like so, Sub Pop was
the
more
Shins and Postal Service. Yep.
Yeah, it was more that like that what at the time would have been called like the Coachella sound. You know what I mean? Like it's not anymore. Back then, it's like I'd read Spin Magazine when I'd fly places. So it's like, okay, like there's Spin Magazine bands. Like I knew these were the cooler ones than the punk bands. Like okay, but I didn't like all of them. But like okay, there's this one. There's Death Cab. There's you know Riley Killer. There's Sleater Kinney. There's fucking like I'm finding something here. That's how I found like Wilco. You know, like that means they're cool. They're in this magazine. Yep. I don't think they have things like that anymore. Yeah, it's too bad.
I think the zine scene is completely dead.
Even the major ones and even the major public, like there was a while after that. Okay, if you were a music fan, you kind of knew like, okay, well, Pitchfork will be reviewing these things, and if Pitchfork, and it's like, well, Pitchfork isn't the same. Like none of these things are the same now, where there's really no basis of like barometers of cool.
Yep.
I think low key, I'm trying to become one. No, like we gotta bring that back. Bring that back. So I don't talk about more new stuff now. It's like you guys got to be checking these out. Like let me be your Spin Magazine.
That's fine. That'd be great. I'm gonna do my best to attempt to start wrapping up the episode so we don't side tangent too much. I know, right?
Because this is why I do mine with a very smart, intelligent woman. Because if it's just me, like this should be getting derailed all over the place all day. I have Amanda. Amanda drives the train. I hang my head out the window. I yell. Amanda drives the fucking train.
And then she's like.
Good.
She's like, Rob, come on. Anyway, cool. Sounds
like,
good, man.
Like,
Sounds good.
Yeah. We got it organized there for me. And I could tell by the level of how wide her eyes go. I'm like, okay, like I keep this going. Okay, no, I rate it.
Yeah. Okay. You're looking at her face.
Right. Yeah. Like, I can tell. It's like, okay, like I have a boss almost. Like, I like can run it from afar. Like, this is good.
Yes. Okay. So, Rob, how we end every episode, we ask every guest 5 questions. That's our way to end it. So here we go. I'm going to mix up the questions for you a little bit just because it's fun to me. First question. Do you have a least favorite kids show? Like kids show that you despise every time your kids put it on?
I don't like Peppa Pig. I don't like the Peppa Pig. I think she's a bitch.
Yeah.
I think she's mean. I don't like that the dads in so many of these shows are stupid fat oafs. Like the dad is just a big, dumb British moron. It's like, I'm like, you know, like, I don't think I'm not, I mean, you know, like, contrary to what I've said for the last hour, like, I'm not that dumb, you know, like, I'm smarter than the dad. Like, I don't like that they're mean to the parents. So yeah, I'm going with Peppa Pig.
Okay.
Peppa Pig.
And that will actually blend in perfectly to my next question. Who is your favorite TV dad?
Wow. Of all time? All time?
Just whenever I say favorite TV dad, what pops into your mind?
Bob Saget. Bob Saget, Danny Tanner.
Yep, Danny Tanner. Yep.
That's the best TV dad. Yeah, that's my dad. That's my TV dad.
Do you think he had OCD? I feel like a lot of people have been like, he had some very OCD tendencies. Like he was cleaning all the time. He has some repressed trauma inside of him.
Yeah, Danny Tanner was pretty uptight, which is I think he had some real OCD to him. Yeah, I think he was just like, you know, I mean, his wife died. You know what I mean? Like he had to maintain control of stuff. He's raising these 3 girls. He doesn't know what he's doing. He brings in Uncle Joey and fucking Stamos there. Like, wow, why can't I remember Dave Coullier's name?
I can't remember Dave Coullier's name off the top of my head either. You're fine.
Wow, I'm the worst. I'm sorry, Dave Coulier.
Yeah,
I ought to know the name. Yeah,
he's actually our number 1 fan. We message daily. He's just like, if Rob comes on, make sure he knows.
I'm dumb. Uncle Jesse was John Stamos. Uncle Joey is Dave Coulier. Anyways, yeah, like he's out of control. He needs that. But I think we're talking good TV dads. Yeah, we're going with that. Yeah, we're going with him.
Nice. Okay. Next question. You might not have one, which is okay. Do you have a go-to replacement curse word? Like if you're trying to not curse around your kids, or you shouldn't say a curse word, do you have something you say instead, or do you just say the curse word?
Just say the curse anyways, and I'd like to use these 3 seconds to also add Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights as my second favorite dad.
Coach Taylor's awesome.
I wish Coach Taylor was my dad. Julie Taylor had a great father. He's the best TV dad. Perfect coach. Just like, that's the best. Like I was trying to think, I was like, I know there's one that I've watched in the past few years and been like, that's the guy. And it was Coach Taylor. I'm just like, this is the best. This is like, I wish that dude was like, I played football growing up. So it's like, like a coach is like, that's someone, like I respect a coach. And it's just like, that's a great coach. That's a great dad. That's a great husband. Like, that's a good man. Like,
yeah.
I hope my children can have a role model like Coach Taylor, because it probably won't be me, unfortunately. You got to find a Coach Taylor, kids.
You're showing him videos of Friday Night Lights. You'd be like, Dad doesn't know how to tell you to do this instead of what I would naturally do.
This is your new dad here. Yeah, that's your dad.
I will still drive you to and from all of your things, but whenever it comes to advice, here you go.
Like the older homie, do as I say, not as I do. But you need a father figure, like in that way, someone like you go Coach Taylor.
I'm just going to be blunt with you kids. Got a lot of deficits. Coach Taylor, 0 deficits.
Yeah. Not the person that should be raising you. You should be listening. You want to end up a good person. Listen to this one. Yeah.
Listen to that one. All right. Next question. Favorite kids' toy or activity, thing you enjoy doing with your children?
My son has an affinity for wrestling toys, and I enjoy that because I grew up on he just wanted to play with wrestling toys one time, and then for Christmas I went on Craigslist and found someone selling all these old 2000s and 90s wrestling action figures. Homie's got the Stone Cold, the Goldbergs, all these a Vince McMahon, the Rocks, John Cena. He's got all of them, and we got the old WCW ring with the cage, the WWF ring. He's got multiple rings, and I'm like, that's pretty tight, because I was a wrestling nerd. I'll play with the wrestling toys with you, bro. And then 5 minutes into it, he'll kind of be over it, and I'll be sitting there still well, no, we're doing a full pay-per-view here, brother. We're only in the second match. We got a main event.
I have to mention this because a lot of people don't know about this. Did you know Macho Man Randy Savage has a rap album?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
With the Hulk Hogan diss track.
Yes, exactly. For that song to Kurt hitting Mr. Perfect, it is. Some people don't know about it, and I have to constantly bring it to their attention. If they say I like wrestling, and I'm like, but have you listened to Macho Man Randy Savage's rap album?
No,
it's fantastic.
I'm deep in it. I started watching. Macho Man was my guy.
Last question, somewhat more sincere focus. Do you have a moment of your kid's life you're most excited to be a part of? Either just looking in the future in general, is there some experience you hope that they get to have?
Just good. I'm really excited. I like when they're the baby stage, but watching them get older and get interest. And it's my daughter, I can tell she's very into music. She's such an entertainer. Look at me, I'm performing. I was I cannot give her daddy issues, but it's it's cool watching her, imagining her as a teenager, getting into getting into music or getting into art or whatever she's into, and getting to harness that and think of the interests we have. She's also my son, I have the season tickets, he doesn't really want to go, and it's she wants to go. And it's I can't wait till you're older. Are you going to be my friend, that wants to go to those games with me? It's what's our, it's interesting thinking what those relationships will be because my son has special needs. There's a lot of it that's simpler, where it's I don't necessarily need to think of those as much, because a lot of those needs are more primary needs or figuring these things out. And like, you know, like, but same thing. It's like, same with him where it's like, I'm interested to see how things play out, you know, like what you can do and what you can't do. But like with my daughter, it's very much like, I think you're going to be a superstar. Like, I think you're going to be like an entertainer. It's like, if you can sing better than me, and if someone can teach you how to play early, you'll be a fucking star. I'm like over here, like Todd Marinovich, like the crazy parent. Like, I'm like LeVar Ball, like, where I'm like, I'm going to harness your ability here. Like, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Cause I didn't have anyone to teach me. Like, I'll see if she's doing the dance like a boy. I'm like, you already know how to perform, girl. You understand the cues. You understand these things. Like, yes. Let's mastermind this. You know what I mean? Like, let's get this going. So yeah, I'm excited to make money off of my daughter when she's a pop star, is what I'm saying. I'm excited to monetize my children.
You're ready for parenting. That's really, I think there are other things to hear from your sentiment in there. However, that was a big sentiment in there. So
yeah, I had to wrap it up in a signature way. Like, I couldn't let myself go off the hook looking like a total sap here. So I had to get terrible with it. But like, no, just like seeing those things are cool.
Yeah,
you know, like watching them, like, it's like, oh shit, like you're old, you know. People don't like I have friends, it's like they want their kids to always be little. And it's like, I'm excited for them back, you know, like, you're getting cool. Like 7, 9, like this seem like my son's 7 now. He's fucking chill, you know, like when he's 10, I imagine mentally, like with certain abilities, he'll be at like that 7, 8 area where it's like, we can kind of do these things now. Like you can be like a little friend.
No, it's crazy because at some point in time, your kids go from it's really weird to like explain to someone that like you're just worried about basic needs. How do I make sure you don't die?
How do I make sure you don't like die? Like, let me make sure we're in the parking lot. Let me like things like that. Like, okay, let me make sure you don't get hit by a car every time we leave the house. Let me make sure you don't run into the street. Let me make sure you don't like slam your hand in the door. Like once we get past those basic things where it's like, let me just make sure you don't physically harm yourself. And then I got to worry about like psychologically harming them by being, by being an idiot. But
by being me.
Yeah, just like, then it's like, I got to worry about them picking up like my fucking hang-ups and stuff like that. But like once you get past those, you can really start like having fun with it. You know what I mean? I imagine you got different problems with different things. Like, know, like 9 years old, like you start getting some like real talking back. But then again, my daughter's 3, she talks back now. Like, what's the, maybe just she'll understand it better when she's 9 when I tell her like, come on, bro.
Yeah. But anyway, Rob, I'll let you go. Man. Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Fun talking to you. And I'll talk to you next time, all right?
Later, brother.
Thanks. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for listening to the episode.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Imperfect Dads Podcast.
And make sure to subscribe and rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to us.
The music is provided by the Wildfeathers.
And all episodes are produced and edited by me.
Make sure to tune in Mondays for new episodes.